So we last saw Haley and she was vanished. We don't know exactly. We think it might be Marcel. So what can you comment about where Haley may be at?
I don't really know without giving it away. I just saw the episode. It's really cool how it ended. It was Ivan. I was like, I know what happens. I was like, oh, this is terrifying. But we know that she's alive, but she's definitely in a lot of danger. And the next episode, when we find out who took Haley, we realize that Haley and the baby that she's carrying is kind of on the most wanted list at the moment from every supernatural creature possible. Tyler's interactions with Haley. Tyler comes back. We we revisit the relationship that Haley and Tyler had, especially on the Vampire Diaries, and even in the scenes that we didn't shoot but we talked about on the Vampire Diaries. We learn a bit about their history and their bond together, and that we realize that he's a little disappointed in Haley and the situation that she's in, and we find out exactly how he banned the werewolves and the kind of curses that he put on some of the werewolves that are still in New Orleans. And we're gonna, as Haley finds out more about her family, she's obviously gonna want to bring them back and allow them to be free and happy in the quarters alongside all the other witches and vampires. Working with Daniel Gillies is the hardest thing in the world because he makes me laugh more than anyone I've ever worked with, and because he's kind of perpetually smiling. You don't know if he's smiling at you to be like, it's your coverage and I know you're gonna start laughing, or if it's just like part of his character. So whenever I have a scene with just me and him, like that pool stuff, I read it, I was like, oh dear, this is gonna be really hard. But he's amazing. I mean, he's so good on the show, and he brings it's just such a different energy on set, and he's so prepared and so passionate about the show, but he does like to make us laugh even without realizing. But he's great. So I'm really lucky that a lot of Haley's scenes are with Elijah, and I think it's a really nice kind of bond at the moment, and they're still being very careful. Obviously she's pregnant with his brother's child, and she's not trying to get herself in the situation between two brothers or anything right now, but she's been let down by a lot of men in her life, and she sees Elijah as a big change in terms of what she has come to kind of expect from people, and people have always let her down and not supported her, and here's this guy who wants to protect her and almost involve her in his own family, and Haley obviously doesn't have a family of her own, so she really appreciates that. And as I said, it's all very innocent right now. It's kind of glances, and there's obviously chemistry between the two of them. They just don't really want to act on it or know what the chemistry is, whether it's just a love and a family bond or something more. But we definitely do see Klaus start to notice that, and Klaus isn't used to not getting what he wants. Not that I think he wants Haley, but I don't think he would like to see his brother take the mother of his child away. It's definitely something she's still getting used to, and I actually only just realized this when I read a script that had her date of birth, and she's only 22. So I still don't think she's really realized exactly what she's gotten herself into, whether it's a vampire hybrid baby or not. She's still kind of getting used to being pregnant, and that's why I love that scene last episode where she's taking ice cream out of the fridge like any 22-year-old pregnant girl would do. Like, I don't know what she's doing, and I really like that. And she's also learning that her baby is healing her, so she has this kind of extra strength right now, and she's almost incapable of being harmed, at least on the surface, because when she does, her baby's blood heals her wounds straight away. So I think it's something she's kind of growing to get used to and really enjoying.
Are you enjoying the fake belly?
Yes, yes. I actually have gotten so used. It's so annoying to put on in the morning because, like, when you wake up, you don't want to put something around you. It's like a corset, but a fat corset. But it's actually good. Like, I can hide my phone in there and my glasses. Like, it's really good. But I'm gonna be sad when it's gone. It's really funny, and it really does help you get into character, especially when you're speaking about your child, and without even thinking, you do hold your stomach, as most mothers do when they're pregnant, and it's been really interesting, kind of, especially on these shows. Even though you're a character, you still kind of look like an ordinary person. But I really definitely feel like when I come on set, I step into, physically the character that I'm playing. It's really nice at the moment, especially because they're kind of the two girls in this crazy world, and they've both have very similar upbringings, and I think they kind of look at each other like the sisters they never had, which is really nice, and they're both very feisty, but I also like seeing girls get along. A lot of the time, girls, especially when on shows, the girls are written very feisty and strong. To see them actually be like bond together as opposed to just the bitchy comments back and forth, I really enjoy it, and there was an opportunity for Rebecca and Haley to be like that, and I really like that the writers are kind of playing against that and almost banding them together, and hopefully we'll see them be a real force to be reckoned with in a couple of episodes. There's definitely what are some funny things. The place that we film at is just amazing, and I hope. Well, actually, you'll see soon that we don't stay there for much longer. We find we equally as beautiful, but we do find somewhere else to live.
What, give up that fabulous pool?
I know, right?
Bad memories.
Yeah. It actually wasn't that cold. I was like, I actually told Charlie, who was the writer of the episode, I even think I tweeted it. I was like, please, Charlie, because he's a dear friend of mine. I was like, please, can we do an episode where I'm in the bath? Just because I was being lazy. And that's what I get instead, is this whole episode of me splashing around dying in a pool. So, lesson learned, don't ask writers when you want to be lazy, because they'll do the opposite.
It could have been all bad. You weren't damaging these arms.
I know, and he was so sweet. It was actually a really fun shoot, and we filmed till I don't know if everyone told you this, but we were meant to shoot that scene when Daniel's wife had his baby, her baby, sorry. So it was kind of a funny time when all that was happening. It was all very exciting. It was like baby gate. I think Haley definitely doesn't want to be around Marcel for too long, especially as she's a werewolf, and Marcel has a big thing against the werewolves at the moment. But yeah, I think Marcel's my favourite character on the show, and I love doing scenes with Charles. I think he's great, and so I really do hope that I get to kind of do more scenes with her and him and keep working with him. It's really nice, especially because after Vampire Diaries, everyone was expecting Haley, and that's kind of when everyone was angry because of Caroline, and it's nice. They do go back and forth. I mean, you obviously Cass be quite nasty to Haley, but I think Haley, because she's carrying his child, she does feel like she can stand up to him, and I think he kind of respects that in her a little bit, that she doesn't let herself be walked all over. But I definitely think all along there's room for them to kind of get closer, and there's room for them to absolutely loathe each other. I think it's gonna depend how the rest of the series goes. But it's nice, especially a show where there's two very strong male figures, for a whole episode specifically about the girls being like, at about time, being like, enough is enough, we're gonna do our own thing. And especially when you have Davina, who's the most powerful witch, and you have Rebecca, who's the most terrifying vampire, man or woman, it's about time that we kind of acknowledge that. We learn a little bit more in the next coming episodes exactly who that wolf is, why that wolf is following Haley, and why there are werewolves when it's not a full moon. That's something that we explore in the next few episodes.